So now let's talk about playing minor, right? Playing a minor blues, let's say. And there's many approaches that you can do that. The minor pentatonic always work, always sounds great, and you can add some other notes to spice it up a little bit. So one of those notes is the sharp 4, which makes the minor pentatonic, right? So if we're in the key of C, we have tonic, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, right? And then you just repeat the same notes: tonic, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, tonic, flat 3, and then all over the neck when you play. You're just really playing the same 5 notes, but you're playing different places, right? So when you add the sharp 4 to the minor pentatonic, that scale is going to become the blues scale. So now we have sharp 4, right? So you can use that when you're playing minor because it sounds really cool. And great idea when you play something like minor that it's slow, it's playing long notes. So a lot of bands like Stevie Ray, Stevie Ray playing Timpan Alley, like, and then you can play. Make it sing, but you can make it sing adding different notes, so you don't have to be focused only on those 6 notes, right? The 5 minor pentatonic, the sharp 4. You can add the 9. You can add the minor third that's already there in the scale and it belongs to the chord. You can add the 9. You can add the flat 6. You can add the major 7. So the major 7, it's really cool because you're playing major, right? You're playing a note that belongs to a major 7 chord, right? And you're playing that in a minor chord, which has a flat 7. That's what creates the tension and actually gives the sound of the harmonic minor, right? Because I'm going to be thinking, the minor pentatonic is almost already the minor scale, like the natural minor scale or Aeolian mode. It's almost there. You just have the 9 and the flat 6, right? That it's not on the minor pentatonic. But then when you add the major 7, right, you're going to have the sound of the harmonic minor scale. You're going to have this. So when you play minor, you can add those notes. So you can play stuff like a. And it works really good because you create some tension and then you resolve, right? And another thing that I like to do when I play over a minor progression, especially if it's a blues progression, it's coming from the 1 to the 4. Because let's say, here's a scenario for you. I'm playing a slow blues in the key of C, right? So I have 4 bars on the C minor, and then when I go to the 4, which is F minor, right? The last 2 beats of the bar number 4, right before I go to the 4 chord on bar number 5, I like to think that this chord become this chord. So what I'm doing is just changing one note. I'm just adding the major third, right? When I add that major third over the minor chord, it's going to become a major chord. If it becomes a major chord, I can play, or a 7 chord, right? Because I have the flat 7 here, or major. So I can play arpeggios that belongs to that chord. I can play notes that belong to the chords. I can play mixolydian if I want. I can even go crazy, and instead of just changing one note, I can change 2 notes. And then I'm going to have an alter chord, right? So I can play alter scale if I want. But it's a little bit more complicated that I'm going to discuss this in another lesson. But here's the thing. So I'm playing the blues, right? So I go. Right? Right? Bar number 3. Comes bar number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So those last 2 beats, I can play something like a. So coming from bar number 3, right? So like 3, for bar number 4. So, I just change one note, but then it gives a different idea. Or I could go like a, I just play like a C7 arpeggio, right? As long as I resolve, right, on the right note. So basically, that's what I'm gonna approach over this lesson. It's playing minor with long notes and adding some different notes outside of the minor pentatonic. Another thing I would like to mention is that you could play vocally. It works very good when you play more vocal when you're playing over a slow song. In our case, minor song this moment. So what is this, playing vocal? It's, I believe every melodic instrument that came, when we started to create musical instruments, I think it was trying to emulate the vocals, like emulate the human voice, right? So when you play more vocal, try to sing as you play, you don't have to be singing out loud, could be singing in your mind, but try to think as a singer, try to not really playing too fast, playing more like long notes and not picking all those notes. What I like to do is thinking music as a language. Language, in our case, like when we talk right now in English, we have the vowels and the consonants, right? So I like to do this little association that I say that my picking, it's my consonants. My legatos are my vowels. So if I play something like this, like picking everything, it sounds not that vocal because it sounds like someone is talking with consonants, right? And if I go like this, it doesn't sound that vocal either because it sounds someone is talking with vowels, so it's kind of weird to communicate. So I like to think this, like you have to have a balance. So you go with stuff like, so you see I'm picking and I'm doing a lot of legatos, and I think that helps to make more vocal, and it's a good approach that you can use when you're playing like something more slow,